Okay, so I called that she was a child of divorce. I called that she, in a sense, mastered the perfect strike. It turns out it's more of an imperfect one. But on that same note, too. But out of all of that, the one thing I didn't expect was that she was goddamn Broly. I'm like, holy shit. And if you don't know, I love Broly, specifically the Super version. Regular, like, the first time I ever ran into the Z Broly, it was when I played, I think, Tenkaichi. And I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. He gets really big and all that. Other than that, I didn't really know much. And I watched the movies eventually later on, and I kind of even don't really remember what the hell they were about. I remember Broly, Super Broly. But yeah, she's Broly. Birdie Broly, holy shit. But, oh my god, okay. So, and also, by god, okay, so this is continuing where last left off. Yes, the bombs and everything was set up because Birdie wanted to try and get, this guy, or wanted to try to get her parents back together again. Try them to kind of hash it out. It didn't really work. What actually really worked, what she really wanted was for the two sides to kill each other, and then eventually, she'd get her parents back because there would be no other followers. She says, her life was ruined after Poblana's fight. And pretty much, like, she did try to tell them, like, hey, you need to be with each other together to master the perfect strike. She even is able to do the imperfect strike. Shut up! Able to do the imperfect strike, but the thing is, also, where we find, and she wants to hash it out. Andy says, it's not, we shouldn't let people kill each other. They have an entire wrestling match fight, which Birdie is freaking, just in base form, Birdie is kind of nuts. And one thing I'm actually kind of liking about, one, there's a shit ton of, I don't know if it's anime references, really. I guess it would be. Because there's some things in this where I've seen that in anime before. We're let me see. Is it right here? Yeah, it's right here. Hopefully this doesn't get copyright hit. Please stop with that shit. Shut up! Let me see. That right there. The slight, head turn with the eye looking back kind of thing. I've seen that in so many different animes. Yeah. And then freaking, even when these guys are all fighting. Let me see. Also, it kind of sucks. I kind of guessed Birdie probably wasn't going to join the crew, but I kind of was hoping she would. She doesn't. And it kind of really sucks. I also feel like she's going to become a really good bad guy. Because I'm like, oh, god damn it. She's like this. Look. This freaking... The over-the-top fight. And here's also the cool thing about this. Because this definitely takes inspiration from fighting animes and all that other stuff. But here's the other thing I actually really like about it. Every technique, at least so far, that they're showing is a physical technique. There is some, not really, I wouldn't even say supernatural, but, similar kind of supernatural as, super powered. Certain moves, like Poblana's true perfect strike is able to create a shockwave. Okay, yeah, but it's still, in a sense, the idea of, it's just more her physical body, her physical form doing it. And, even though there's some over-the-top shit, them jumping up super high and all that stuff, it is more physical things, because even when this girl is using the perfect strike, Andy figures out, her perfect strike must be imperfect because it doesn't have the air pulse that comes along with it. It is only, it extends only to the end of her arm, and that's it. She has a imperfect strike where she's able to do some really serious damage with this simple strike. But yeah, and then eventually even Andy figures out that her thing is also and Brandon's, where a lot of the force comes from your base, because that is actually a thing in fighting, where where your base is a major point of it. That's why you don't flail around or try to throw as many kicks as you want, because you're gonna freaking get thrown over. And also why you don't jump into and do a jumping flying kick or some shit like that unless you were 100% sure you're gonna hit it, because if they stop that, you're screwed because you lost your base. But Andy tries to bring up, all of this and tries to just tell Andy. Brady says Andy, just leave it alone. We're stop, let them kill each other. We'll be fine. Birdie says no. She says you're still defending them. This is where, and she finds out. Oh yeah, the reason of her imperfect strike is she holds her force down. She holds herself down with her feet. Yeah, yeah, because of the pulse. Again, it's kind of like I said last episode, where they're taking it to the extreme, but it is a sense of you don't punch your target, which is what Birdie's doing. You punch through your target, and that's kind of what Aunt P does. That she punches through the target and way goddamn beyond. And then she even sees right here her feet gripping the ground. Those grippers.
They're gripping the bat, but why? It's like in Brandon.
But the thing is, eventually, Andy catches her in a wrist lock, which also I'm pretty sure is an illegal move in just fighting. At least in MMA, I believe it's illegal. Or at least I know the gooseneck one where you go like this, and because if you do it hard enough, it hurts. It hurts a lot. You can break someone's wrist like that. I know arm things I don't think wrist locks are allowed. Or wrist locks are allowed. But catches her in a wrist lock. Heavy point. Again, I like that all the fighting is it's specifically trying to both mimic anime and stuff like that, but also go against where it's just energy beams or just the this masterful technique, Kaioken or some bullshit. Not a Kaioken, but you get what I mean. Something you activate a beam and shoot a laser blast. It's more or less more focusing on the physical aspect of it, which is I can appreciate a lot, as you can tell. But eventually the two, what is it? Mikey and Craig eventually get to them, say it's Birdie thing, and the parents come up, and in any other anime, usually the parents recognize that they've been kind of shitty and, they should spend more time with their daughters over that. Nah, this show don't do that shit. This show goes realistic. These two divorced and they hate each other now. They'll throw it at each other and hate each other all the way. And the thing is, they blame each other for their daughter, which...
Tell me it ain't true. Please forgive me. I really didn't, because... So you admit it.
See? Right there, she would give her speech and then, but no. They're like, no.
You did destroy our statue. Selfish, attention-grabbing, half-witted things you've done.
Which just breaks her, and she, also, divorced kids, a lot of the times, starts blaming herself, thinking she's the problem, that she's what's wrong. And then it turns out, and then she starts not really transforming, but the narrator brings up, which I believe is Keith David, who voices it, the narrator brings up that Birdie, after all that training stuff, she actually gained a lot of muscle all over her body. She gained a lot of muscle. But she also saw that as a stigma, I guess, from her parents. It's a reminder of her parents' life. So she bounded herself up, which I'm sure there's a lot of trans things you could go in with that also, of trying to hide your body, binding and whatnot. But
they still don't care about me.
But pretty much her anger, binding herself up, which also this entire her hairstyle and everything just gives old classic anime feel.
In an attempt to get her parents' attention. Now, they were symbols of their obsession.
Yeah, see. So, and she binds herself up with the binds, but because of it, apparently, it compressed and fine-tuned her muscles to the point where the thinnest amount of rage or whatnot will set that off.
driven mad with hatred that BROLY became unbound.
And that's when she just goes full goddamn BROLY. I don't want to show all of it, but holy. Those bandages were doing a lot. Like, holy shit. She went full ass BROLY. Like, holy shit. And the Fight Girl can barely do anything. But she is able to dodge everything. She has, again, her biggest thing is that she's invincible. That she could just take a lot of damage. But this girl is getting slammed by this girl. And the thing is, that's really worse. And also, like, Andy figures out, that she can manipulate, she's about to get, like, Ultimate Muscle's final move where she gets slammed, where they slam him down. But Andy flips it on her and just uses the momentum to fling her with her own legs. Like, holy shit. Andy even tries to go save her or help her, but the robot stops her. And then her parents say, "That's a monster!" And they all start throwing rocks at Birdie. They start trying to fight and hit Birdie. And all this stuff. Birdie's having flashbacks to when they had a happy family. And then also how that's all, like, destroyed. And, like, she, like, that's even worse. Like, her parents are right there, sitting there just in disgust. Like, holy shit! Especially because she's literally the perfection of both of your goddamn schools, but whatever. But eventually then, Birdie also says that she'll never forgive Fight Girl, and she also, like, basically runs off. They say, "Oh, good thing you did this. Girl, you should join us. And he's like, "What are you guys, idiots? Like, you just thought that's your daughter," and all this stuff. And they're like, "Oh, well, whatever, let's keep fighting." And they keep fighting each other. They're like, "Oh, well, it's your fault. And they start fighting. And it leaves really on a sour note. Because then, like, Andy's like, should we go at? Mikey's like, should we go after her? Which, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I probably would fail Problana's, like, training or whatever, because I didn't do the 10 measures, but I would go after Birdie. I would probably go after Birdie. Because, one, Birdie's a freaking powerful fighter. Probably could train you also. But that's also really not the point that I would really go for. That's more of just a benefit of becoming her friend. More along the lines of, more along the lines of that she needs someone. She needs help. She needs help. Like, by God, she needs some support right now. Jesus. But Andy says, "No, we gotta go. We gotta do the training." And she sees, like, how wrestling could make someone so bitter. Andy kind of holds back some tears in front of them, so she called her parents and just wanted to call and say hi, because she's happy for her parents that she has. Birdie is just out in the world waiting for some supervillain organization group to pick her up, because holy shit. But God, I love Birdie. Andy and Birdie are my two favorite characters in this whole show right now. Those two are so badass. That is just a sad backstory of divorce and child of divorce. That so sucks. But oh my God. Like, she is, in a sense, like the Kevin Levin to Andy a bit, where Andy had overprotective parents, but Andy had to kind of go against their teachings so she could become a wrestler. Birdie is a broken image. She's a mirror opposite of that. Her parents are wrestlers. Birdie doesn't want to be a wrestler, even though she trained and she learned their lessons to try to get her family together. And but her family just broke apart. The difference of two, like, Andy isn't strong. She's more, quote unquote, invincible. Where Birdie can take a lot of hits, but I think the majority of her is more strength. So they are even opposites in that sense as well. It's really good. I really, really, really like this show. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, me working on other stuff, I'm like, man, I kind of should watch Invincible Fight Girl. And I'm like, I gotta wait, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm honestly happy I waited, because, oh my God, I get to watch this all together. Hell yeah! And what was this, episode 6? 7, so I have 3 more episodes and I'll be caught up, and then I'll be back to waiting. Assuming that's not the season finale. I don't know if it is or not, but anyways. God, this show's good. Holy shit. And again, I'm going to keep watching. The art is great. The animation is beautiful. I can't wait for it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the videos. God, I so hope we see Birdie again. I hope Birdie eventually becomes friends with Andy, something like that, but I do also feel like she is more focused to become an antagonist to Andy. Right now, we are still in the setup and training stage of everything, so anyways. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll videos I've done. Links are my face, description buttons, are on there somewhere. Check out all my other videos. Hope you enjoy this, and we will. Actually, I also, one more thing. We'll say that. I'll say it at the end of anything, but we will. See you later. Now that you're at the end thing, I do think that, rage or something might be part of it, because this girl was doing, massive strength power attacks, and, it was doing some shockwave, so it's probably slightly a part of the perfect strike.